You spend 3 hours practicing guitar. You make the same mistakes repeatedly. You finish frustrated, feeling like you wasted time. Tomorrow, you'll probably make those exact same mistakes again. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. If you're practicing wrong, you're just getting better at doing it wrong. Studies show that 68% of practice time is wasted because learners don't reflect on what they were actually doing. But here's what's fascinating. Why do companies like Honda hold mandatory reflection meetings after every project, even successful ones? Why do elite athletes spend as much time reviewing performance as practicing? It's called Hansei, structured reflection. And neuroscience proves this might be the single most powerful learning accelerator that Western education completely ignores. This is corporate wisdom applied to learning. Let me ask you something. After your last study session, did you analyze what worked and what didn't? Or did you just close the book and move on? Most people practice like zombies, repeating actions without awareness. Your brain is on autopilot, and autopilot doesn't improve. It just reinforces existing patterns, good or bad, but professionals practice Hansei daily. Researchers at Kyoto University discovered that deliberate reflection activates your brain's metacognitive networks, the regions responsible for thinking about thinking. When you practice Hansei, this technique, after learning sessions, your hippocampus doesn't just store what you learned. It stores why it worked, what didn't work, and what to adjust next time. This creates learning about learning. You're not just getting better at a skill. You're getting better at getting better. Continuous improvement. Your brain is a muscle that grows with intelligent training through Hansei reflection. Think about your practice like debugging code, the way programmers approach problems. You can keep running broken code hoping it magically fixes itself. Or you can pause, examine the error logs, identify the bug, and fix it, the systematic approach. Hansei is your learning error log. Small, consistent practice combined with structured reflection builds massive capabilities exponentially faster than blind repetition, wisdom proven over time. Picture a flag, simple, clear, focused. That's Hansei, honest reflection without decoration. Here's the paradox. 10 minutes of focused Hansei reflection is worth more than an hour of mindless practice. It's not about grinding more hours, it's about extracting maximum learning from every minute. This is systematic knowledge reinforcement practiced by students and professionals worldwide. Imagine learning like a skill tree. Masters know that reflection transforms random practice into strategic growth. Strategic approaches trump raw effort. Hansei. First technique, the three-question reflection. This comes directly from corporate culture, specifically how companies conduct project reviews. Immediately after every practice session, and I mean immediately, not tomorrow, answer 3 questions in writing. What worked well? What didn't work? What will I change next time? That's it. 2 minutes maximum, but those 2 minutes create metacognitive awareness that transforms random practice into systematic improvement. This is mindful, intentional practice at its core, the Hansei method. Transform passive observation into active retrieval using this technique. Second technique, the error journal. Keep a dedicated journal only for mistakes, exactly how top students do worldwide. Not successes, mistakes. After each practice session, write down every error you noticed. But here's the crucial part, the approach, categorize them. Was it a knowledge gap, a technique error, a focus problem, a misunderstanding of fundamentals? This transforms errors from discouraging failures into valuable data points. You're building a database of your learning weaknesses. And once you see patterns, you can target them systematically, quality control applied to learning. Create neurological triggers for improvement through Hansei practice. Elite students practice this religiously. They have separate notebooks specifically for wrong answers and mistakes. They review these more than their correct work. Western students hide mistakes, ashamed. Top students study mistakes, curious that difference. It's why dedicated education consistently produces top results despite fewer study hours. Systematic knowledge reinforcement, the Hansei way. Third technique, the performance replay. At the end of each week, review your daily Hansei notes. Like athletes preparing for competitions, look for patterns, what mistakes repeated, what improvements happened, what techniques worked consistently. Then mentally replay your best performance from the week. Visualize it in detail, the way martial artists practice mental training. What did you do right? How did it feel? What conditions created that peak performance? This weekly meta-reflection creates mental models of excellence. You're not just practicing the skill. You're practicing the mental state that produces excellent performance, wisdom refined over centuries. The neuroscience is crystal clear. When you practice Hansei reflection, this method, you re-strengthening your prefrontal cortex's ability to monitor and adjust your own learning process. Brain imaging studies found that learners who practiced Hansei the technique showed 73% more activity in executive function regions compared to those who just practiced without reflection. More importantly, their skill retention 6 months later was 91% compared to just 34% for the practice-only group. Strategic approaches trump raw effort, proven through Hansei. Imagine finishing every practice session with complete clarity about what to improve next time, like an apprentice training with purpose. No confusion, no repeating the same mistakes. Just targeted, strategic progress toward mastery. That's the power of Hansei, structured reflection. You're not just putting in hours, you're extracting maximum learning from every minute through deliberate awareness, the way practiced by masters. Hansei. This reflection practice isn't about dwelling on failures. Culture views reflection as path to excellence. It's about learning from them systematically. Western culture teaches us to move fast and forget mistakes. But philosophy teaches us to pause, reflect using Hansei, and improve continuously. One approach leads to repeated errors, the other leads to sustained excellence, proven for generations. Your challenge after your next practice session, whether it's studying, exercising, coding, anything, stop for 2 minutes. Pull out your phone, answer the 3 Hansei questions right there. What worked well? What didn't work? What will I change next time? Do this after every session for 1 week. Practice Hansei like professionals. Watch how dramatically your improvement accelerates when you combine action with reflection. You've just completed all 7 learning secrets. Ikigari gave you purpose, philosophy, Kaizen built your system, continuous improvement. Shoshin removed ego blocks, Zen wisdom, Ma optimized timing, spacing principle. Wabi-sabi embraced imperfection, aesthetics. Nemawashi prepared foundations, planning. And Hansei ties everything together through reflection, quality improvement. These techniques multiply each other's power, all developed and refined over centuries. Full playlist below. If you haven't watched from the beginning, start with video 1 on Ikigai. These build on each other, the systematic way. Your brain is waiting to be optimized through proven wisdom. Subscribe for more methods backed by neuroscience and Japanese philosophy.